Tijuana's mayor says the city is not prepared to handle a, quote, avalanche of arrivals. During a protest against the migrants, a local Mexican carpenter shouting, "This is an invasion." According to the Los Angeles Times, he also shouted, "We demand respect. We demand that our laws be followed." Sounds familiar. Let's bring in the former Homeland Security spokesperson under President Obama, Marcia Catrone, and the executive director of the Federation for American Immigration Reform, Bob Dane. Welcome to you both. Great to have you with us. Okay, so this problem is not getting any better based on all the conversations that we've had. Thousands now. There were told 6,000 at this one processing area waiting, and a number of the migrants sound surprised that this could be months for them, Bob. Are they being misinformed on their way to the border?
They are being misinformed. They're being manipulated and exploited, and all of us are as well. I mean, there's a certain irony to all of this. The fact that because Mexico has not enforced its southern border, they've got caravans and chaos throughout the country now, throughout all of Mexico, and a concentration of it in Tijuana. And now you've got the Tijuana mayor who doesn't think much of this, and you can't blame him, because even on the best of days, Tijuana is a pretty tough town with limited resources. Now he's dealing with thousands of migrants, probably 10,000 more on the way. The point of all of this is that secure borders and regulated immigration, it's not just an American idea, it's a worldwide standard, and it works. And I think Mexico itself is now waking up to that.
Yeah, and we're hearing from people, as you heard there, Marcia, from inside Mexico, who are now worried about the impact on their wages, their jobs. Another person, a demonstrator against the migrants today, a Mexican woman herself, saying this. NPR had the headline shouting, "Mexico first, hundreds in Tijuana march against Migrant Caravan." She says, quote, "We work hard here. We don't get handouts. The government shouldn't be giving things to migrants when plenty of Mexicans are in a difficult position." It sounds like the same feedback and arguments that we often hear within our own borders here in the U.S.
Well, with 1.5 million people there, it's no surprise you're going to see a few protesters here and there. And these people that are coming through in the caravan they're sandwiched in this corridor between these two countries. So they're in between a rock and a hard place. And I think there may be a sense from the citizens there that they're getting something from the Mexican government that the citizens themselves aren't, which is, you know, it's a shame that the administration is making this harder than it could be. They could be helping the situation instead of making it tougher for these people.
Meaning the Mexican administration or the U.S.?
The U.S. administration could be making things a lot easier if this was a real, you know, problem. And instead of shutting down lanes, they could actually be sending asylum officers down there to interview these folks.
They say that they're doing as much as they can, that they're processing people as quickly as they can, but there's a bottleneck there, and that's just, unfortunately, it seems to be the situation right now. I want to mention, too, the ACLU has been suing against the president's new asylum plan, which is people have to go to ports of entry. If they try to enter illegally and ask for asylum, he's not going to allow it. So in this lawsuit challenging that, the ACLU says many refugees lack significant formal education. They're unaware that there are designated locations for crossing into the U.S. Even those refugees who know that designated ports of arrival exist often have no idea where they are or how to find them.
Well,
what do we do
just
with
leave
that?
it to the ACLU to create more chaos on top of more chaos. Look, these folks, for better or for worse, they're not even yet on U.S. soil. They don't have a claim, and they have no standing. Look, you know, if we're going to believe that a country has a finite inability to allow in a finite number of people into the country, what's at stake here is we either have a say in who comes into the country under what terms and conditions. We have an ability to analyze their potential value to the country and examine their background, or we just rubber stamp everyone who comes a knocking on our door by whatever means they have gotten up here. That's what is at stake with this caravan, and unless we secure the border, tighten the credible fear requirements, and close the loopholes, we will continue to have caravan after
there's
caravan.
a lot to be done in a bipartisan fashion, I might add. Marcia, quickly to you, want to get your response to this new Monmouth University poll. Shows a majority of Americans, 53%, do believe the caravan creates some kind of threat for the country.
Well, if they do, the Border Patrol will stop them at the border. That's what they're there for, right? And they have biometric capabilities to check all of these individuals before they come into the country. And then actually a very small percentage actually do get asylum. The majority are sent back to their home countries.
All right, Marcia and Bob, great to see both of you tonight. We will continue the conversation. Thank you both.